What was your reaction before we even get to the call out of Mauricio Ruffy's crazy knockout over King Green? That was unbelievable, right?
Yeah, I was talking to my friends. I was like, man, I'm pretty sure he's gonna finish him in the first round, and then he finished him like that. I was like, man, it was even more impressive than what I was expecting. So I would say overall I was very impressed with the guy. As far as the call out goes, like, man, you could call out whoever you want. I don't really care. It's like Dana, Sean Shelby, and Hunter. It depends on who they want me to fight, right? Because that's kind of where I'm at right now. Plus, if you're in the rankings, because at this point, man, there was a period where I fought a guys a lot outside of the rankings, and it didn't really move me that much forward. So at this point, I want the fights that are going to get me to the title the quickest. So that's really what I'm waiting for is to get that call and be like, okay, you're fighting this guy, you're fighting that guy who are ranked. That's the ideal situation. But if they call me to fight him, then so be it. Then we're fighting him.
Is it a situation for you as well where it's like, this is the guy that's gone viral? People are saying, oh, this guy, he's the future of the division, or maybe like he's unstoppable. So in a way, like taking him out versus, say, I'm just having a look at the rankings, like a BSD or, Grant Dawson. I know like Turner's going to be out there, but some of the guys that are sort of lower in the rankings, or even that Moicano fight, maybe going out there and having a decisive victory over Mauricio might actually get you a bit more in terms of like cred from fans and more momentum to move up the division in a way. It's weird how the division even works, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know because, for example, when I fought Gamrot, he was supposed to be the next thing, right? He was supposed to be, he was coming off that win from Armand. He had such a
That's
great
right.
fight with Armand, and everybody was talking about him. So I was like, man, if I can't, because I was at that point, I think he had 7-fight win streak. So I was like, man, if I can't fight the title, let me get this guy. Everybody's talking about him like he's the next he's the next world champ, and so I fought him, and it still didn't really get me a title shot. So I don't know. I'd like to. I'm looking just I guess I'm just looking for the fastest route to the title shot, and then I'm more than willing to give all these guys fights. It's not like I'm trying to avoid of anybody. It's just trying to make this as smooth as possible for myself.
Mm. I also got to ask, man. Obviously, Fizev, he's coming off a loss here, but there's a lot of momentum there as well. Does he interest you at all in a potential fight? He's a dangerous fight, though, right? Like, but if people thought that he might have beaten Gaethje. A lot of people still believe he might have beaten him in those two fights. Do you think he could be a good potential opponent?
Yeah, so again, it goes back to this. For example, I was set up to fight Moicano. Everybody's like, he's on a big win streak. I was like, okay. And he was ranked right behind me. I said, okay. So right after that, they're like, hey, do you want to fight Fiziev? Everybody's asking me. I'm like, wait, Moicano was ranked number 10, and this guy's ranked number 11 or 12. Why am I keep getting guys further behind me? Why can't I get somebody ahead of me? And so that was kind of the issue I'm having. Like I said, what is it, Mauricio Ruffy,
Yeah.
or Fiziev, whoever it may be. I don't really care. I'm just waiting for the UFC to be like, okay, you're fighting this guy for sure. But in an ideal world, I'm gonna fight somebody ahead of me. If you're gonna ask me who I want to fight somebody ahead of me.
Mm. Yeah, it's interesting as well because like there's ahead of you, you've got Gamrot, but you've obviously beaten him. Chandler, who's fighting Paddy Pimblett. We got Dan Hooker. We've got Max Holloway, Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje. Obviously you guys would only really fight for the title. Oliveira and Arman. So it's an interesting time to be in the division. Let me ask you
Yeah.
this. And by the way, any other names that I kind of mentioned there that stand out to you?
No, and the problem is right now, my understanding is Dustin Poirier and Max Holloway are going to fight. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's 100% sealed and done, but that's what I'm hearing. Really ahead of me, all that's left is Gamrot, which he's ranked number 9. We've already fought. I'm not really like. Well, I'm sure we're gonna fight down the line. It feels like we're gonna fight down the line. I would just rather fight somebody else at this point. The only person I can think of is Dan Hooker, but I don't know how long his hand is gonna keep him out and when he's gonna want to come back. I heard somebody say he wants to come back before July. If that's the case, cool. I mean, if I can get that fight, that's ideal. But if not, we'll see who they